behind here. It is very cold, and I'm on my way to Hazelmere because I need to have a chat with them. And then I'm going to Looney's. I have to say, there is something to this, being able to travel distances without feeling like you're destroying your bike, which I may have been. Am I the reason that the bike keeps going wrong because of what I use it for? It's possible, it's possible. Sorry if I'm a bit muffly. I've got one of these Alpine Star, it's got a tech neck or something, it's just like one of the tube scarves. And it's brilliant, it's so windproof. I used to use like 2 of the normal tubey scarves, and the wind got straight through. And this one, it doesn't. It's brilliant. I'm actually perfectly warm because I've got my leathers on, I've got one of my own hoodies on, I've got big, horrible gloves. These disgusting things, but they are warmer. And yeah, I'm fine. I wonder if it'll be like this all the way up there if we're going to hit fog. There's a weird thing with this road that as you get to the valleys, the fog begins. So suddenly the temperature dropped and now it's getting foggy. Told ya. When I say the temperature dropped, it just went from like, oh, I actually feel kind of toasty to Jesus. You can now see how cold it is in this area. Look at this, everything's frozen. It's all been covered in a blanket of cocaine. It was put there by Jesus, so it was, to raise the Christmas spirit. You just have to take a pinch of Jesus' special cocaine, shove it up your nose, and Christmas is great. How much toilet roll do you need? I mean, I know Christmas can be a shitty time of year, but come on. They've got enough to last them like 2 weeks. Let's have a look at them. Oh, you know she does a big shit. She's like, excuse me, Gerald, I'm off to dump a dookie. He's like, okay, love. And all he hears from upstairs is, flush. The temperature has fallen again. God, you think you get used to it, and then nature moves the goalpost, you cheating bitch. Look at it, it's like a winter wonderland. Has to be done, has to be done. No, I'm not on an SM, but seriously, it has to be done. Side stand, please work for just a merest of seconds. Is that holding? Jesus Christ, that Hilux's been jacked up. Everyone thinks I've crashed. I ain't crashed, buddy. I was just taking a winry photograph from my Instagram. Instagrams! This will be fun. Oh no, oh fuck. It started sinking. It's not an SM. It's not an SM. It's definitely not an SM. Alright, careful. Careful! Okay, so I got a comment the other day, and I'm going to have to read this to you. Why this dude and everyone else driving on the left side, is that North Korea because they hate the West, or is that city against their government to fuck? And I will give you the answer to that question, but not just yet. You have to watch to the end. Leave 1,000 million likes. Yay, we made it. And my fingertips are still relatively warm, which means these gloves actually did the trick. Okay, well, that was an interesting conversation. I'm not going to talk about it now. We don't know what's wrong with the bike still. The engineer's looking at it on Saturday. It's just sort of talking about possible outcomes and... yeah, I won't talk about that now. We'll talk about it later. Because I've got other things to talk about, because I need to talk about why we drive on the left-hand side of the road. If you're a UK motor vlogger, you have almost definitely had a comment that says, why are you driving on the wrong side of the road? Now that's one funny thing I want to talk about, right? Okay, so the wrong side of the road. People say, like in America, they drive on the right. But in England, we don't drive on the left, we drive on the wrong. Which is not to say we drive differently, it's to say that they are right and we are wrong. This is not a hatred against Americans or anything, because in the entire globe, I think only 2 countries drive on the left, England and Australia. And that's because, you know, Australia was founded by the English, pretty much. So that's one thing. Don't just assume that right means correct and not right as in the right side. Otherwise, this could be considered to be the right side, even though it's the left. The true reason comes down an argument in 1854 between Mr. Pucklewith and Mr. Smith, who had a disagreement about who made the tastier tea. No, I'm joking with you. It's simple. You hold your sword in your right hand so you can attack the person on the other side of the road. No shit. That's what it comes down to. Swords. This is beautiful. Not that I can see a lot, but... And the same rule applies on stairs. Okay, a lot of people in England don't realise this. When you go upstairs, you're supposed to be on the left. When you go downstairs, you're supposed to be on the left. You should be facing the opposite traffic so you can be right hand to right hand, so you can draw your sword, protect your wench, because England is that friggin' old. Why people do things can be for such strange reasons, but you just accept that that's the way you do it. There's a funny little story that sort of explains this. One Christmas, a little girl is at her grandma's table and says, "Grandma, why do you cut the end off the roast?" And she goes, "Oh, I do that because that's what my mother always did." So she like goes to her gran and is like, "Gran, why do you always cut the end off the roast?" And she goes, "Oh, we do that because that's what my mother did." And then you're like, "Oh, let's go and see Great Gran. Great Gran, why did you cut the end off the roast?" And she goes, "Because the tin was too small, obviously." It's just funny that some of the things we do, we just do them because that's the way, is based in something which is no longer relevant and sometimes a bit silly. But driving on the left, no, I like it. And obviously the reason why it's the sword hand is because obviously more people are right-handed than left in the world. So, I mean, Christ, in the past they used to force left-handed people to be right-handed. Like, you're left-handed, you're wrong. You're wrong-handed. So hang on a minute, does that mean that I can say that if you're left-handed, you're wrong-handed? In the same sort of way that they say left and right and wrong. Jake's left-handed. Jake, you're wrong-handed. I've always got suspicions of left-handed people. I'm joking. The fog is still there. Look, it's like the clouds are down on the ground. Well, they are, basically. That's exactly what fog kind of is. But shut up! I can't be smart all the time. Any of the time. Do you know what? I don't think I've seen a single other bike today. Not one. Oh, actually, the one at Hazelmere. They were riding. I'm now going to Loomies to pick up that letter I was sent. See, winter riding is beautiful. Yeah, you get cold, but come on. I know the summer's very nice, all the greens and everything, but look, you get all the golds and the greens and the frozen testicles. But you know what I mean. Obviously, the other good thing about riding in the winter is that the bushes don't have leaves and the trees don't, so you can see through everything. Makes it much safer. Will I be the only bike at Loomies? I'm imagining not, but I'm imagining if there's more than 3 or 4 bikes, I'll be surprised. There have been many occasions that I've been up here riding thinking, yeah, you know, it's not too bad. It's a bit chilly, it's a bit wet, it's a bit this, it's a bit that. And found myself to be the only bike. Oh blimey, there's loads. There's a divvy! There's a divvy, it's another divvy! Jesus, still icy over here. Feelings of numbness and nothing more. Once an SM rider, always an SM rider, even when you're not riding an SM. Those white plastics. Look better than mine. Yank! The Institute for the Suppression of Highly Intelligent Animals. Oh, fuck off. The ISHIA has only recently become aware of the long-running campaign against the You fucker. Only recently become aware of the long-running campaign you have against the crows around Hayling Island. We are very pleased to see how seriously you take the threat of crows, and how keen you've been to suppress them and try and insult their intelligence at your own expense. While for the most part the crows get the better of you, due to their cunning nature, stubbornness, and all-round superior mental ability. This is the fucking crow's word. This is what? Is that a cat? Meow. Hello. Be my friend. Oh, fuck you then. Anyway. Where were we? Yeah, all-round superior mental ability. Despite the difficulties and challenges, you have done fine work. However, we feel your efforts would be much better directed towards domestic house cats. Many house cats... I swear to God, I couldn't set that up. You're not a house cat anyway, you're like a field cat, you're like a wild one. Many house cats are unfortunately hiding behind a fluffy cushion of an exterior while they plot and prepare for an attack on human people being en masse. The domestic cat is becoming more and more prepared to kill everything for just for fun. Cats are a major threat to all human people. They're a threat to all human people and the other domestic wildlife that share diets. The Institute of blah 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 has enclosed a financial goodwill gesture to show support of your efforts against the crow. But it's a matter of extreme urgency. More human people become aware of the dangers they're subjecting all human people to with the misplaced affections and befriending of house cats. A report shows domestic cats in your area are causing major upset to avian wildlife, particularly on the beaches and of course downhill. So please focus your efforts towards keeping feline attackers away from those areas so the local bird population can live and forage unhindered. I hope to write to you again once you've shifted the focus towards oppressing domestic cats instead of crows. This work is extremely important to us. Yours sincerely, Walk Pro Thumb. Yeah, that's an anagram of Portsmouth Crow, isn't it? Okay. Oh, God, that guy. Yeah, the Portsmouth Crow on Twitter. And also, I have to make this clear at this point. It's not me. I am not the Portsmouth Crow. I swear to God. I've had even close friends say to me, yeah, but you are the Portsmouth Crow. And I'm like, no, I'm really not. I'm really, really, really not. I promise you, I'm not. I don't have that much time. I run 3, 4, like 7 or 8 social media accounts and my YouTube channel, and I have a real life and everything else. I don't have time to sit and be a crow. He reported me to the RSPB. I'm not going to do that. I actually cocked on the guy for that. I was like, come on, they don't even realise it's a joke. So you just basically gone and reported me to the RSPB for beating crows up, and I've never laid a finger on one. Yeah. So in short, a manipulative little crow is trying to frame innocent cats by sending me monetary donations. Well, thank you, Crow. Oh, sorry, not the Portsmouth Crow, of course, because this wasn't the Portsmouth Crow. I'll keep an eye out, though, on those domestic cats. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me fuel, please. Today, please. This is an extreme sport now. Sat on the bike, filling up with fuel. This is so dangerous, man. That guy's got a sticker on his bike that says, I'm not gay, but £10 is £10. I need to find one of those. The reason I say that is because a mate of mine who's got an M3. I put a sticker on that said that I'm not gay, but £30 is £30. I didn't see the £10 one. I would have definitely done that. Oh, which way am I going to go? That way, A3. This way. Oh, I'll go this way. I did have an inkling that the Portsmouth Crow was behind it for 2 reasons. One reason, because the Crow has sent stuff to Loomies before. Remember the Sausage Fest and the Crow. And also because when my boss rang me and said, hey, there's been this letter delivered, is it for you? And like, yeah. And he says, well, it's got 100 quid in it. I'm like, well, who's it from? I don't understand. And he said, oh, it's from the Institute of, you know, what he's just called that what's titled on that letter. Thank fuck he understands or didn't read too far into it. That could have been taken the really wrong way. Can you imagine that? Yeah, hey, can you come in? We need to have a chat. So what do you do outside of YouTube? Because you appear to be being paid money to beat up crows. And somehow you're involving us. Thankfully they realised that, well, didn't read that far into it or realised it was a joke. If I had to try and explain this to someone, they'd just be like, what the fuck are you on about? You're mental. No, it's called YouTube. Weird shit happens. It started with a joke and a throwaway comment years ago. It progressed into a sticker, you know, the fuck off crow sticker, and then, you know, there's been a guy on Twitter for 2 years acting as the crow. Sorry, there is a crow on Twitter who's just being a crow. I think this whole thing confuses the shit out of a lot of people because, you know, they haven't necessarily been around for the past 2 and a bit years when the Crow joke started being made and all this happened. This bike does have a little rattle, one of the plastics up here at a certain RPM. It's that. Right, I'm sticking that down. I was just thinking then, my stomach hurts a bit. I was like, what the hell's that all about? And I was like, hang on a minute, what did you eat today? Oh, wait, I haven't actually eaten. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I got up and got on. I totally forgot the food thing. It's not a parking space, you cock! Well, hopefully I'll have a Derek update 3 with some real information on Saturday or Sunday. Probably Sunday if I go up and film it, so you can actually see what's wrong with it, so I can actually see what's wrong with it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, or I'll eat your cat. Whether it's Derek or not is another thing. This is the question. I mean, if it turns out that it's not economically viable to fix him and it's better off to just sell the frame and the engine as is and blah 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 and put the money into something else, well, I may have to do that. I don't want to get rid of the SM in my life, but I've owned it